Hi, my name is Olimpia Plata. I'm here today to show you how to do realistic zoning assessment in New York City. For this demonstration, we will use a 100 by 100 corner lot in an R8 zone on a wide street. So we're going to go ahead here in Arc and create a new project. We are going to name it R8 Wide Street. Typically, we do 8 floors, 8 to 9 floors for our R8 for standards building. So I'm going to say number of floors 8. My zoning district it's R8. My maximum building height on a wide street is 135 feet. Now here I'm going to choose my type of lot. In this case, we're going to say it's a corner lot. And we're going to go next. Here it already says 100 by 100. I'm going to go and change my street to Y Street. I'm going to say Alton Avenue. And here we're going to say 183rd Street. And next. So ARC has decided to show us or give us the footprint of our building. Here I can choose to move my walls. Let's say I want to be this side to be 55 feet instead of 60. We can do that. I can either do that here or on the next step. So here Arc is showing me the typical floor with different core selections. Usually we do scissor stairs with one elevator, and I can also tell Arc to show me more so I can see which option fits more our needs. But we can also choose any, and we can make a lot of changes ourselves. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one. And now I'm gonna click on this section in order for me to show me this tab here on the right. And I'm gonna edit my floors. So here, looking at my floor plan, I don't want 2 elevators, I want one. I also don't want my stairs there. I want to move my stairs here. And I'm going to rotate my stairs here. And I'm going to change the locations of my doors. And I'm going to change the trash room here. Now I can select the AI generate sections. Well, before that, let's remember we need to tell Arc which walls are not for windows and which ones is solid. So I'm going to switch this ones, the side lot line walls, to be solid. This way Arc generates the rooms towards where we have the windows. So we're going to select the area and I'm going to say AI generate. In this case, we're going to go by the percentage. Usually our clients don't like that many studios. So I'm going to say we want 25% of studios, we want 45% of one bedrooms, and 30% of two bedrooms. And I'm going to tell Arc to generate the plans for me. Okay, I'm going to say apply selected. And I'm going to go to my section after reviewing if I like this layout or not, or if I want to make some changes. For instance, this two-bedroom apartment looks extremely large. Or I can just change some layouts by selecting the wall, double click on it, and I can move it around to give more square footage to any of other apartments next to it. In this case, I can move this wall here and give a little bit more to my studio, or vice versa. I can give more area to the studio by moving this wall. This one, I can do this by creating this corner unit, my two bedroom. And by selecting, I can go up here and regenerate. And Arc is going to regenerate a two bedroom instead of one. Okay. I think it looks fine. I can make my corridor shorter here and give more space to this one bedroom here. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my section and I'm going to go over the numbers. So looking at this, my maximum buildable zoning floor area is 72,000 square feet. So it seems like I'm very below that. So we are okay. Also, I am allowed 104 unit, 106 units, excuse me. But our I currently have only 104, so I'm 2 units short. So let's go to the first floor and detach the first floor from the upper floors. By doing this, I can just make changes to the first floor without affecting the top floor. So we're going to make changes to my first floor and I'm going to create my exits towards the street. You can have your main lover either here or here on this side, however you feel it's better for you design. Um, I want to have a corridor toward the backyard. We do that. That means that I probably going to lose this unit. And I'm going to delete. I'm going to say generate. I'm going to move some walls and regenerate this studio into a one bedroom. And I'm going to regenerate this one bedroom to show you the rooms correctly. So I have a corridor exit towards the street and I have a hallway towards the back. I also want to create another exit from the back through here as well. And I'm going to regenerate this again. Make this room bigger. And regenerating. Let's see if I'm happy with it. I'm going to go back to my section. And here I see that I now have 103 units. So I wanted to max out this building. And I am allowed another floor. So I'm going to select in the section the top floors and I'm going to add another floor. This top floor is going to make me go over my limit. So let's go back and make some other changes. I'm going to detach the top floor from the rest of the typical floors. This way I can make changes to this floor without affecting the lower floors. So we're going to create some setbacks on this floor. I can just do this, or I can also delete all of this. And keep deleting. And I'm just gonna set it back. So I'm gonna go back to my section and let's save the project. And I see I'm still over the 106 units that I'm allowed. My gross floor area, let's look at the building information tab. So I am still below the 72,000 square feet that I'm allowed, so we are okay. I'm gonna go back to my building. I need to eliminate 2 units. So let's see. I'm gonna go back to my first floor, and instead of this being a 1 bedroom, I'm gonna make it 2 bedroom. I can make this smaller. And this one as well. I can make it a 2 bedroom. I can make this also a 2 bedroom. And going back to my section, I need to remove one more unit. So I'm going to remove this studio. And I'm going to regenerate this one and I'm going to regenerate this one. So when I go back to my section, I want to go back to the building information. And I'm happy to see that my studios are below the maximum 25%. So we are fine. We're looking great. So the next step, I will say that I'm going to create a cellar. We can create a cellar either here or we can, yes. And then we're going to make changes to the cellar because the cellar is a copy of the first floor. So it's going to copy everything that the first floor has. So here I'm going to edit the cellar by removing all these units because in the cellar we will not have any units. So as I delete everything, AI will not generate for us apartments. So we're going to have to go to the type of residential that we need here, and I'm going to say mechanical. We can create rooms by selecting wall here. I'm going to create some walls here, 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 and maybe here, depending on what we want. I'm selecting this mechanical room, and I'm going to say that this is going to be a meter room. I'm selecting this one, and I'm going to say this is a sprinkler room. I'm going to select this one, and maybe this is just a storage. And let's say amenity storage. I'm going to continue to delete these units because we will not have units in the cellar. And we're going to say amenities. I'm going to create a room here. And I'm going to change it to mechanical, and I'm going to say trash room. I can make this room even bigger. This one can be my bike room. This one can be maybe laundry room, and so forth. So I'm going to go back to my section. I'm going to look at my building information. Now it's telling me that my floor area, it's 75,000 square feet because it's counting also the cellar. So I'm going to back to this tab in order to use deductions. We want to say that the cellar is 100% deductible. If I want to deduct anything else like corridors, I can put it here. I'm going to say save and close. Like for my typical floors, 622, I can deduct half of that. Let's say 300 square feet. Okay, I'm going to say that I'm going to deduct 300 square feet of corridor on each floor. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go back to my building information. And where I see here my zoning area, I see I only 65,000 square feet, which is way below the maximum 72,000 square feet. I also can see here the total of units proposed is 106. We are allowed 106 as well. So we are good to go. Okay, so here I can see my 3D, and you can see the beautiful building of realistic 3D of the massing of the building that we're proposing for this corner lot, and it looks great. We can also to show us to and send it to our client, we can go to file and export as a PDF, and it's going to give us a complete report that is very helpful for our client to decide if this is a lot that they do want to invest in. So Arc is my go-to app in order to do a very complete and realistic assessment every day. Thank you for today.